would never have met you if I'd kind of just carried on doing what I was doing and got my 9-to-5 job that was fine. And the same, I travelled Australia for 8 weeks and there was a group of 20 of us and we all went on our own. I kind of felt like I was on the wrong path for a while.
Right, hey everyone, welcome to another video. If you're new, my name is Joanna Wilson. I'm actually going to take these glasses off in the fear that there's just going to be a ring down there. Today I'm joined by the lovely Samantha Golding, who I know you've all been worried about, and questioning about, and speculating about. She's fine. I am. She's thriving.
I'm having a great time.
But that's not actually what today's video is about, so maybe we'll talk about that another time. Today's video is about making friends in your 20s.
Yeah, I feel like this is a great topic of conversation for us, for me.
Yeah.
Because I just turned 25 plus 3.
She's in denial about it.
I am.
But she's 28.
I am, yeah. We're in denial.
Cool. Before we get into it then, do you want to just give an introduction to anyone who may not have seen you before? And who you are and what you do and anything else that you want to say?
All right. Hi, everyone. So I'm Sammy. I'm originally from Kent. And me and Joanna met 3 years ago now. 2.5 years ago. But I have a background of gymnastics and I'm currently an online PT, but I have done a whole load of jobs in the last. I went to uni, did event management, had a job in event management. I've worked at Camp America, teaching gymnastics in the summer. What else have I done? Taught gymnastics, been a gymnastics coach, done all sorts of jobs and travelling and stuff, which has got me where I am today, I guess.
Making friends in your 20s then, I feel like there would be a good place to start. I think a good place to start would be making friends before you were 20.
Yeah.
So have you always been good making friends?
Like, yeah, I guess when I was younger, like, I think being in gymnastics, you're around a lot of older people. So I always had like a lot of older friends, I think. And then at school, it was one of those where I was kind of just friends with everyone. And like, I got on well with everyone. I had a couple of different groups of friends. I was never like the main character. So I just kind of, you have like the cool kids and then like the geeks when you're at school. And it's like, I just kind of got on with everyone, which I think is great. And then I guess the next stage of life is like when you go to uni, isn't it? A lot of people go to university and then their friends from university become their friends for life.
Yeah.
But I think for me, when I went to uni, the people that I lived with was just who I became friends with, and they were awesome. They were on my course. We got on really well. But I think my biggest regret at uni was like never going and joining like a sports team, because my friends who I lived with weren't that bothered about it. So I was just like, oh, I won't bother doing it. And I think that's where I would have thrived and would have. I've always been in gymnastics, but my uni didn't do gymnastics. So when I went to uni, I just stayed with my friends from my course who I lived with, which was great, and they were great. But I do think by like year 2 or year 3, I was like, probably like seeing all like the netball team and like the hockey team and all that kind of stuff all together. I was like, they're the kind of people that I think I would have probably enjoyed spending time with a bit more, I guess.
So moving on from that then, and hence obviously the title of this video, if not just, you obviously feel like you've made a lot of your closest friends since turning 20, which is actually quite like, it's not conforming to what usually happens. Like you said, you usually have your friends from school, your friends from university, and they sort of then transition into being your friends forever. Yeah. And it's kind of very rare that post sort of those years you then make a really, really good friend.
Yeah.
Whereas absolutely. What you're saying is you've experienced the opposite.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, like you said, it's the rarity of it. Like a lot of people just assume that, you stay friends with your friends from school and your friends from uni for the rest of your life, and that's kind of it, which a lot of people do, and it's great. But like, I think a lot of people paths change. So my best friends from school, they've all been in relationships for the last 6-7 years. They all kind of finished school, either went to uni and then got a job, or went straight from school into working. And I was kind of the only one that went to uni and then wanted to travel, and then I've kind of done the typical life of meeting someone, buying a house, which is where they're all at now, which is great. And like, we all still get on really well. But I kind of felt like I was on the wrong path for a while. I was like, oh, am I doing it wrong? I remember like when I finished Camp America for the 3rd year, so I would have been 25. I was like, right, I need to get a proper job now. Like, I've done my travelling, like I'm behind everyone else. Everyone else has like got their boyfriends and got their houses, and I was a bit like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? But then I guess since travelling, I've met so many people that are similar age to me or even older who are the same as me and who haven't got the boyfriends, don't want to buy houses. They want to carry on, you know, working for themselves, exploring the world, doing all kinds of different things. But I think if I hadn't have put myself out there of like travelling on my own or doing these things that I think I wanted to do and not just following my friends, I wouldn't have met them. It's the same with you. Like I would never have met you if I'd kind of just carried on doing what I was doing and got my 9-to-5 job that was fine. I mean, I have COVID to thank for a lot of my good friends and experiences that I've done, because it kind of made me not do that 9-to-5 job that all my friends and everyone else was doing.
So how do you make a friend when you're an adult?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Because like when you're a kid, you just kind of ask if you can play the game that they're playing on the playground, and you sort of just become friends.
Absolutely.
How do you, like, I don't know, I think it feels weird, and if you're an adult watching this, which you probably are, like, if I said to you tomorrow I want you to go and make a new friend. Go make a new friend.
Yeah.
How do you start? What do you do? Like, was it ever your intention to...
I mean, not really. I mean, I guess social media helps a lot these days. So I've done a lot of like traveling on my own. So like I said, I went to Camp America and that I did it on my own. But because of social media and Facebook groups, you kind of get put in a group so you can start talking to people before you go. And the same, I travelled Australia for 8 weeks and there was a group of 20 of us and we all went on our own. So that was quite, you know, I think when everyone's there on their own, everyone's in the same situation, everyone feels as nervous and as awkward when you first start. But like, once you get there, you're going to be with people with similar kind of interests. People that go on those kind of trips are all the same as you. So I guess it's just completely being yourself, being confident enough to just talk to people, remembering that how you're feeling, they're probably feeling as well. They also want to make friends and don't want to be doing things on their own.
Do you think that you are better at making friends now that you're older versus when you were younger?
That's an interesting question.
So there's like two sides to that question. The first one is like you physically, like the act of making a friend. Like, are you better at that and the confidence side of things? But then like the second part to this question, in my opinion, is like, do you think that you're a better judge of character?
Yeah.
As to like picking friends, but like,
no, I know what you mean,
choosing the people that you think that are your people and you want to spend your time with. Do you think that's something that gets better with age?
I think so. And I think like as you get older, you know yourself a bit more, like you learn more about yourself and know what you want and need in a friend, as opposed to like when you're younger, it's just like, oh, she likes that and I like that, so we're going to be best friends. Do you know what I mean? Whereas as you get older, it's kind of like your values. And like for me, I like experience things. I like, you know, going to concerts, going on holidays. So for me, like meeting friends, it's people who also want to do that, not just people who like want to go out and get drunk every weekend. Like that's fine, and there'll be people like that, but like I'm not looking for friends to do that with at the moment. So if that's what they like doing after work, then fine. But I guess I think as you get older, you learn about what you want in a friend a little bit more, and like so it becomes easier to I mean, I'd always openly talk to everyone and anyone, but then like you said, you do have people that you click with, I think, a bit better and a bit quicker as you get older. I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. What values do you hold in friendship, obviously, other than doing things and experiencing things?
I think it's like support, isn't it? And like just having someone to communicate with. So I don't have a boyfriend or anything at the moment, so I rely a lot on my friends for everything, for emotional support, to hype me up, for me to rant, for me to support them, to do things with. What other values do I look for in friendship? I can't really think. It's just like, you just want to feel comfortable and feel just completely yourself. Like people that you can just relax with. Because obviously, as you get older, work gets stressful and there's more things life gets stressful, I guess. So when you're with your friends, you just want it to be people that can make you laugh, you know, forget about work, switch off, just be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's such an interesting topic because the world, as you mentioned, not just with the pandemic, but also with the access to the world that we have now. You can, and this is how we became friends, is like online. It wasn't like find a friend through social media. But you literally have access to anyone in the world
Yeah.
Anywhere at any time, which is really cool for people, right? Because if you are a person out there that has ever felt like you don't belong, or you're surrounded by the wrong kind of people, or you sort of grew up in an era where like you don't really have much choice, you're sort of stuck in a small town with not many people around you, like you're now in a position, and so are your kids and your grandkids, where like they literally have access to the entire world to make friends and to be surrounded by people that are like-minded and do what they want to do and are interested in things that they want to be interested in at the same time.
Absolutely.
What do we think the downfall of that is? Because I'm like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Great, sign me up.
Yeah.
But what's the negative of that?
I guess it's like, obviously on social media, people only put a certain part of themselves. So I guess like people could see friendships or people on social media and they're like, oh my God, like they're perfect, their life's perfect, I want to be like that. But social media isn't always the full story, I guess. So like it might seem like someone you follow on social media has got all these friends and they do all these amazing things, and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any friends that I do any of that with. But just I guess you've got to remember that social media is not always 100% true. And like, it's hard because all of my friends live all over the place. So obviously when you have friends where you're growing up from where you're around, you can just like message them at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday if you've had a bad day, like, can we just meet up for a coffee? Or whereas for me, when I'm in Kent, I don't really have anyone around that is that close that I could just be like, obviously like with you, I'd FaceTime you, which is fine. But I guess the downside is that you don't have that like immediate group of people that are there that you can kind of run to, cry to, laugh with if you need it immediately.
Yeah, because it's also about connection, right? Isn't it, with a person? And we're in fortunate positions where we manage to make connections in friendships with people that are not from close by, but not everybody's in a position to be able to do that. So in my opinion, like one of the downfalls that I think just a big element of friendship is like pure connection with the person. And I think the like connection that we have online with the world is fantastic, but then you might actually miss that like physical connection with a friend. Are you actively looking for friends?
Not really at the minute. Like I wouldn't say like I'm doing things to go and meet friends. Like I've got a really good group of friends. Like they're all very individual and all from kind of all walks of life. But like I don't feel like I need more friends. I know it's stupid, and a lot of people say it, but it is really about quality, not quantity. Like you don't have to have 100 million friends, I don't think. Like I think when you're younger, obviously like you want more friends because it makes you feel popular and it feels like you're doing loads. But I think as you get older, you realise that it's better to have a few friends who you can really rely on, understand you, you trust, they trust you. So no, I wouldn't say I'm looking for more friends. If more friends come along, then great.
I'd be really interested in the comments of this video for people to just sort of pass opinion on this topic as a whole. And I do find it interesting, and I feel like this has been one of the more disjointed chats because I feel like I don't have all the answers to the questions, and there's lots of differing opinions sort of on this topic, and then every single person is individually different in their circumstances in life.
Absolutely.
But like my last question to you would be, what would your advice be to basically somebody that was a 19-year-old Sammy, like that doesn't really know where in the world they might fit, or if they've got the right people around them, or how to approach friendship with different people in different areas of their life?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess for me it's like trust your instinct. Like don't feel like you have to follow what everyone else around you is doing. Like if you've got an idea of what you want to do it. Don't wait. Don't be like, oh, my friends aren't doing that, or you know, if especially like things like traveling and sport, all of that kind of stuff. Like if you have no one else that wants to do it with you, do it on your own. Like there'll be other people that are doing it on their own. And just be confident in who you are and what you want to do, and then you'll attract the right people. And again, like there's no reason you can't be friends with people who are on similar path, on completely opposite paths, doing different things. Like you can still be friends. Like some of my friends from school I'm still really close with. Some of them we've drifted apart because we just have, and that's the way it goes, and and that's okay. But yeah, just do it. Put yourself out there. Go and do things on your own, and people will be nice. People, if someone approaches you as well, make sure you're nice to them because they might be in a similar situation. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That was cute.
Thank you guys for watching. If there's any other conversations or chats that you'd like myself and Sammy to have, then we're definitely happy to do so. Make sure you go follow her on social media. We will see you next week for another chat. Keep smashing it, and remember, anything is possible. You just
Yay!
Bye!
Bye!
Yeah.